Thor, who was currently the king of Asgard and ruler of the Odin Force, now the Thor Force, sits at his throne made of a part of the tree of Yggdrasil before a speech he has to give for the residents of Asgard. So after a little reflecting and talking to one of the warriors of three, he gets up and walks out to greet the many inhabitants of Asgard to give his speech to the masses. But as he waves his hand as a greeting, his eyes widen in horror and he screams out Odin's beard as he sees Galactus fall down from the sky, crushing parts of Asgard, flattening it. And as horror rains down in the streets of Asgard, Thor wastes no time, changing his role and duty from king to warrior and protector as he jumps up as a bolt of lightning, screaming, "Galactus, you dare!" for striking Galactus with all of his might, causing the World Eater great pain, and with him saying, "Stop, I came for help, and you are the only one who can. The Star Plague, the Great Black Winter, it's coming," before closing his eyes and drifting off to sleep, leaving Thor in the chaos and wreckage that Galactus just caused. Moving over, we see a little time has passed where Thor, not having many options, sent out ravens to gather all of the previous host of Galactus, including Silver Surfer, who was currently the Black Surfer, in hopes to ask them what to do and what is happening. So the Silver Surfer goes on to ask, how much of Galactus's birth do you really know? And with Cosmic Ghost Rider answering, he was an explorer of the galaxy before ours, and some unknown cataclysm killed his entire universe, and he was a sole survivor. No, not unknown, the Silver Surfer replies. The Star Plague, the Blight Storm, the Wrath Blizzard. Many names, but one truth. It is a one true end, the Black Winter. With Thor getting up in determination, saying, how do we stop it? But the Silver Surfer explains, we do not. The Black Winter has killed the universe before ours, and as Galactus destroys worlds, the winter comes for realities. However, Galactus is the only one who has ever survived the Black Winter, and he must be the one to do it again. But first, he must feed and grow stronger by consuming these special, rare worlds with unique energies that would power Galactus beyond imagination, which the Surfer has kept hidden from Galactus. And as this information sinks in to all of the other heralds around the table, they all start to ask, so which one of us is taking him this time? And the Silver Surfer is the first one to respond, saying he will be the herald, but with Thor saying yes, but you will not go alone, preparing to go with him. So they all gear up and prepare to set on their way to destroy this Black Winter as best they can. And as they make it to Galactus, who is finally rising, Thor yells, "Kneel," and as he does, the Silver Surfer flies up, saying he is ready to come back to help him on this mission. But Galactus simply answers no and explains, the Star Plague, or the Black Winter, it is not a being. Each galaxy or entity that gazes into it perceives it differently. And when you gaze into it, you see the true form of your own death. And Galactus, having now gazed into it twice now, reveals that he's seen the embodiment of his own true death as none other than Thor, while seemingly bringing out his hand and blasting him, with Thor screaming out in pain and the Silver Surfer in shock. And Galactus further explaining, he didn't just stumble across Asgard, nor come here for asylum or refuge. He came to claim Thor, to take him as his own, as his new herald, telling him to rise now, his new Herald of Thunder, as we see Thor now fitted out in a new costume, with the power cosmic filling through his veins, and his hair floating up in a Super Saiyan-like manner. Cutting over, we see a flashback of a different reality, but a reality all the same that the Black Winter has come to claim and devour. But just like the main Marvel universe, this reality has heroes of its own. A sun god, a god of emerald light, a god of dark perhaps, a god of the ocean, of speed and of strength, trying their best to fend off the Star Plague. But it is all pointless, because just as the Black Winter has done many times before, he devours this one too, literally crushing the galaxy the planet is in the palm of his hands, absorbing it. Now back over to Thor, we see him standing over the first of 5 planets that Galactus needs to devour to grow strong enough to even stand a chance against the Black Winter. But upon further inspection, it turns out this planet is populated with life, and Thor refusing to kill and destroy this planet for Galactus. So Thor forces Galactus into an agreement, saying he will only help him and show him where the rest of the planets are if he can evacuate each planet, so no lives are lost during the process. But the Big G isn't too happy about this and blasts Thor down to the planet's surface, engaging in a battle, telling Thor, I gave you the power you now wield, and I can take it away. And Thor simply responding, you know nothing of the power I wield, as he throws Mjolnir and it carves straight through Galactus' hand, cutting off 2 fingers. And Galactus, now angry, starts to power up and aims his energy blast at Thor. But before he can, Thor calls Mjolnir back, causing it to go straight through his kneecap, cutting through, hurting Galactus even more. But the savage locals of this place care not for the battle between these 2 powerful entities and attack Thor as he is trespassing on their land. So Thor starts to fight back, but not to hurt them, but to get them to back off. And while he is distracted, Galactus activates his machine that allows him to convert the planet into energy for him. So in a moment of desperation, Thor calls out to Lady Sif, who is now in control of the Rainbow Bridge. So she uses her newfound power to teleport all the inhabitants of the planet to Asgard for safekeeping. And thus, with nothing in his way, Galactus continues to consume the planet, completely detonating and exploding the world against Thor's wishes. But as a result, Galactus is powered up even further, glowing red with energy, and all of his wounds healed. But just as Galactus is about to use his newfound power to continue their fight, they are interrupted by Beta Ray Bill, who wants words with Thor. And after a short scuffle and Beta Ray Bill breaking his hammer against Mjolnir, he also gets teleported to Asgard by the Rainbow Bridge, leaving Thor and Galactus to continue on their journey. So in a short little montage panel, we see Thor lead Galactus to 3 other planets, and after evacuating them, he consumes them, destroying each planet, but growing more powerful each time, until finally, on the 5th and final planet, Thor lands to continue the cycle of evacuation. But it seems this planet's inhabitants know of Thor's plan and his allegiance to Galactus. While Thor is still talking with inhabitants, Galactus suddenly starts devouring the planet, angering Thor. But Galactus saying in distress that the Black Winter is here and it is too late, as we look up and see the ever-growing mass of the Black Winter dwarfing over Galactus, the planet, and Thor. So Thor decides not to be enticed and thrown off his game by looking into the Black Winter. He covers his eyes and channels all of his power into one giant blast straight into the Black Winter to buy Galactus time. A blast so powerful it can shatter entire continents by accident, and it buys Galactus exactly 14 seconds to continue to devour the planet, which he is barely successful before the Black Winter gets to them. Now, with Thor and Galactus standing side by side, Thor with tears rolling down his face, saying, "When the winter is clear, you will answer for all the people you have killed and the lives you have stolen. But for now, they must fight." As you see a horrifying image of the Black Winter, with the scar of lightning Thor shot at it at its core, completely towering and dwarfing the duo. And as the battle starts to rage on against a cosmic god king Thor and an ultra powered up Galactus, they seemingly start to fight a losing battle, especially not accounting for the fact that Thor is blindfolded, and with the Black Winter taking an interest to Thor and effortlessly throwing aside and containing Galactus, saying, "Calm yourself, I'll be with you in a moment. I've waited long enough, but your little god herald intrigues me." And as Thor gives his best effort, throwing away full-powered blasts everywhere that would completely shatter normal planets, it is only a matter of time before the Black Winter completely engulfs them both within its dark tendrils. And blasting off Thor's blindfold, he slowly starts to cover Thor, blinding him and making his eyes go black, making this a seemingly dark end for our hero.